This week brings energetic reminders about what we truly want, which also means we need to get serious about what we are ready to let go of, wrap up, and complete, because another door is opening for us while at the same time closing. Hey everyone, it's Christine. Welcome to this week's weekly energy forecast for the week of January 15th through the 21st of 2024. Another door closes and opens. This is another reminder I feel this week we're getting about what we're wrapping up, what things we're still clearing out. Like I mentioned several videos ago, the beginning of 2024 was not precisely the new year as we imagined, in terms of, okay, it's time to start fresh. It's time to start anew and wipe the slate clean. In terms of the calendar, it may have felt like that, but energetically, there's still a lot of things, lessons, karmic chapters, and cycles we are closing up. And in the season that we're in particular, Capricorn, we are also cleaning out and finalizing lessons in this area, especially since we have Pluto in Capricorn and a variety of other energies during the last several weeks. So this week, I felt we are going to get reminders overall. We're going to get reminders about what is truly calling at us, where we really want to go. And that may mean saying goodbye to certain people or relationships, or it could be where you're putting in a lot of your time. The same thing with patterns and belief systems and habits, because those may only nourish old versions of who we were and not the new versions of who we want to be and also where we want to go. So as we wrap up Capricorn season this week, think about the Saturnian energies associated with Capricorn, since Saturn rules over Capricorn. So there may be endings, things wrapping up and completing and finishing, cycles coming to an end, releasing, emotional purging, especially wherever you have Capricorn in your natal chart, but overall too, in just a general area or theme of your life. As we shift from Capricorn to Aquarius, you may be feeling like doors are closing. And I feel like this is helping us, it's almost like a reminder, but helping us to rethink, reflect, and also ask ourselves, okay, do I want to still be on this same energetic walkway, or those, moving walk paths, those electronic things that move? I don't even know the correct title for those. I'm gonna have to research that. Or do we want to jump onto something new? So there's a lot to be reconfigured. And again, like I've said in several videos ago, the new year in the way that we imagine it as humans, I don't feel is going to start until the end of January. So if you're still feeling like shit, it feels like a continuation from 2023, you're still wrapping up things, cleaning up, and you're like, oh, you're not alone. I would suspect the vast majority of folks are in the same energetic timeline as well. There's nothing wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with where you're at. It's simply the energies. So let's move on. Next thing I want to announce are the winners for the December 2023 reading. Thank you guys so much for your patience. I had recorded some videos ahead of time without realizing, crap, I'm going to have to include the winners. But we have two winners, Carrie Lynn and Christina. So this is Carrie Lynn. Is it Kinyon? 5448 and Set Into My Journey. So I will also post on the community tab post area. So send me an email and we'll reconnect so you can schedule your reading with me. Congratulations, you all. I'm excited and happy for you. Also, final happy birthday to all my Capricorns out there. This is the final week Capricorn will be in, or the sun will be in Capricorn. Let's get into the astrology, you all. Reminders, all times are in Eastern Standard Time, New York City time for reference. Starting off the week on January 15th, we have the Sun in Capricorn sextiling Neptune in Pisces. And I immediately got here, because I always put little mottos, phrases, mantras, if you will, right next to each of these transits. How do we bring our dreams alive? This is the reminder energy that I've been getting. So if you're thinking, crap, I feel like I'm sliding back into old habits, I feel like things are not really shifting or they're not the same, you're not alone. Lots of cleanup still, lots of energies, planets, like I've mentioned several videos ago, they are slowly turning direct. And then we have the shadow periods. Right around this week, the shadow period of Mercury retrograde will have expired. So we will be clear of that. We have Uranus coming up, which will be going direct too. So starting off this week, we have greater receptivity, greater openness to incoming and supportive intuitive messages. So really pay attention to what it is that you're sensing and feeling, any signs, messages, synchronicities, excuse me, that you're getting on repeat. What have you been feeling pulled or called to? If you find yourself dreaming or daydreaming, what is coming up for you? What feels good when you imagine or visualize these things? Because these are clues about where your soul potentially wants you to navigate towards. And sometimes when we are stuck in challenging circumstances or still trying to unpack or unwind or wrap up a certain cycle in our lives, we don't even see or are not able to see the next steps because it just seems like too much. So simply pay attention to the good things that you're feeling that are coming up, because obviously those are things you want to pursue, not the things that bring up any ill emotions or any heaviness. I really like this energy for the start of the week because I feel like this is another energetic reset or point of checking in with ourselves and asking, okay, I've learned much more as we are halfway through January and 2 weeks into 2024, the new year. What is it that's still coming up for me? And what is it that I still need to let go of? Anything that's you're like, ooh, I find myself sliding back into this habit, this belief system, or this is repeating or coming up, or I'm still seeing similar circumstances popping off with certain people, relationships, or I'm getting that same feeling in maybe a job or where I put my energy, whatever the situation is. Pay attention because that's really cluing you in some distance that your soul may be feeling in terms of where it wants to head toward, and also what you're ready to finalize. Because a lot of times when we're ready to finish something and we're about to start something else, there's a sort of, it's like stretching. Imagine being stretched, it's not comfortable. When you do something new, you may feel that it's the best way for me to explain it is a discomfort, but it's an uncomfortable stretch. You're like, "Ooh, I've never done this before, but I know I want to go in this direction. But I'm so comfortable in what I was doing before, but I know that's not it for me either." So it's that liminal in between space. So if you're feeling that, you're on the right track. A lot of folks, we're all still crossing bridges, we're transitioning, like I mentioned, they're still cleaning up, wrapping up. So this is still very much, you could say, you know how many folks towards the end of the year, they start doing those reset type of challenges, organization, decluttering, cleaning up. This is it, what we're still dealing with right now. So you're not behind in life. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Excellent day, I'll say, and even time for the start of the week to re engage and recommit to your spiritual practices, particularly meditation. Any way you connect to your spiritual guides, prayer, gratitude, nature, allowing yourself to connect to something bigger so that you can be in receptive mode. On the 17th of January, we have the moon in its first quarter phase in Aries. This is about gearing into action. So you may be feeling this inertia, this momentum to push forward and say, you know what, I need to do something different. I'm ready. And you may be feeling a little bit of a tension, like a push pull of perhaps frustration of wanting to move forward with a compelling force, right? But you just can't at that time or moment or wherever you're at because you're still cleaning up, wrapping up, and transitioning. So really pay attention to what's coming in, like I've mentioned before. Take stock of any intuitive hits surrounding your goals, your dreams, simply the next steps. If you don't want to look at something big, because I tend to get overwhelmed when folks are like, where do you want to be in 10 years or 5 years or 3 years? And I'm like, oh my gosh, just think of, okay, where do I want to be maybe tomorrow or next week or even by the end of the month? Or even you can do it in different increments, whatever feels best for you, because you may be feeling an itch to take an action. So I love this energy with the moon because I feel like emotionally we're ready. It's just sometimes our heart and our mind have to catch up, right? Sometimes there's that discrepancy there and either one has to catch up. So for me, this indicates a really new beginning with our emotional space. We're ready to move forward. And sometimes physically, and it's going to vary for everyone. Sometimes physically you may have moved on, but emotionally you're still stuck in something that has already ended, or vice versa. So this is an amazing time to ask yourself, what is the very next perhaps micro step or micro goal that I can take in the direction that I want to go into? Say you want to stop consuming sugar, for example. Just a basic superficial example. Maybe you can clean out up or clean out your kitchen or your food area or pantry or fridge of anything that is too tempting for you at this time, and something that'll help you realign to your goals of consuming less sugar, for example. A small micro goal. It doesn't have to mean the whole thing where you're like, okay, no sugar for 6 months. Absolutely, you know, go into something very restrictive. But you can use this lunar energy, since the phases tend to shift pretty quickly, but when we do feel them and connect to them, we can use it to the best of our ability, especially when it is in a phase that is um, the same to your natal moon, and also in the area of your natal chart that you really want to focus on, right? Okay, January 18th, we have Mercury in Capricorn sextiling Saturn in Neptune. I almost said Saturn and Pluto. And I was thinking about Disney's Pluto, serious about success and buckling down. There used to be a commercial, "We're serious about success." I think that was the DeVry Institute, if anyone remembers. It was an old TV commercial. I'd have to research it, and I didn't, so I may be mistaken, but I kept hearing that commercial. So this energy midweek, I think it's Thursday, it's going to give us a boost with discipline, with awareness, with a serious tone, with ambition, but also with regards to our thinking and communications. We may be up here getting ready to hunker down and say, you know what? I'm ready to explore this new path that I want to move it towards. I'm ready to start brainstorming different ways that I can start heading in that direction and making a plan. So this is going to be a wonderful time to make some type of roadmap that simply you can brain dump. Take 5 minutes and just ask yourself, what are all the possible steps that I can take to go in this direction? And this is another wonderful way to use this energy to formalize this. I like to write things down. Everyone does things very differently. You may like putting it in an electronic notepad or iPad, tablet, or using a planner, whatever it is. Take stock of your goals or your next steps in life and where you would like to go, and try to create some type of timeline. That would mean having some type of definitive end goal. Apologies for the loud AC, it's not AC, the heat that just came on. This also sparks to me because with Saturn and Pisces, this has a more spiritual element here. So some of you may really be wanting to, or maybe directed toward, fine-tuning your values if you haven't already. And that could be a bit, I wouldn't say it's all consuming, but if you haven't done it in a while or you've never done it, I would suggest taking time off to first get clear on your excuse me, not just boundaries, but your values, because that's going to inform your goals. And that's where I see a lot of folks have a lot of hiccups, a lot of challenges, a lot of bumps, and also disappointments when you do not define your values and you simply pick goals. It's very hard to ask yourself, well, are these goals really right for me in this season of my life? Do they matter? Because sometimes goals sound amazing and fun, but it's not. We find out later on that it has no meaning to us, or it's not really what we really wanted or envisioned. On the 19th of January, we have Mercury in Capricorn trining Jupiter in Taurus. We also have Venus in Capricorn squaring Neptune in Pisces. So we are very much getting ready to grow, expand, and nurture our soul growth here, amidst some potential confusion, disappointments, and insecurities that are coming up with self, but also with others that may be projecting onto ourselves. So with Jupiter, we have expansive, optimistic energy, and we have both planets, Mercury and Jupiter, in Earth signs, Capricorn and Taurus. So I feel like this is asking us to dream beyond what we perceive to be our limits. Don't be afraid to dream a bigger dream than you had before. Because yes, Capricorn and Taurus are both very much practical, realistic signs, but they also, undergirding their goals, the ambitions, and the far-reaching sights that they aim for, they focus on stability and a strong foundation. So these energies are asking us, hey, if you want to move into a mansion one day, I'm giving you an example, just anything far-fetched that you may feel is far-fetched. These energies are reminding us you can do that, but don't think it's going to happen in a quick turnaround, or don't try to find like a quick scheme way to do that. Focus on doing it in a slow and steady, methodical way very intentional. Make sure along the way that it still feels good to you, because if it doesn't, and that's okay, people change, your values change, and so do goals. You can redirect towards whatever it is that you're being called towards. But these energies want us to make sure that we're putting in that effort, slow, steady, and consistently. Consistency is probably the most important while we're creating a strong foundation, because when the base is very strong there, then we are more likely to accomplish what it is that we want. This is a very wonderful time to tap into all of your resources. This could be going to the library or bookstore, getting books, connecting to different articles, news resources or print, people in your network or new people, whether it's through internet or email or networking events. Especially when it comes to supporting your next moves around themes related to spirituality, any types of travel, belief systems, values, and your overall goals and foundations in life that help support you. Venus squaring Neptune brings doubts, insecurities, and I feel like it could also bring up disappointments around any Venusian themes, around love, relationships in general. It could be money and finances, your values. So that's why I said earlier, really, really important to make sure you've got solid values, that you know what your values are, like yours and yours alone. Because sometimes with Venus square Neptune, we can project onto others, but also have some sort of unrealistic set of expectations. And when other people don't meet them, or when circumstances don't meet them, we come out deflated like a balloon, and we're like, what the hell happened? We can feel like we got the short end of the stick. We can feel like maybe we're not good enough, and insecurities start flaring up as a result. And this is where that reality check is important here. You may be feeling too something is not adding up, something is feeling off. And this is a good time, especially for those in relationships or any type of situation that may involve your finances, an investment of sort that also entails relationships, right? Like banking relationships or with your investors or whomever. To take a look and ask yourself, are there any perceived distortions between my expectations and what's really happening? And the potential or even the real disillusionments and disappointments that I'm feeling, because that'll clue you in to see if that type of relationship that you're in with your own money or with others that are involved with your money, or in love or in any relationship, for example, if they're actually going to grow in the way that you want, if it's something that's strong. Because sometimes this transit, Venus square Neptune, can elucidate and show us where foundations may not be strong, where things are not really working out because we never cemented that strength in terms of the foundation in the beginning. So we can see opportunities here where, okay, I think this has to be re-strengthened, or you know what, we can grow through this, or this is another opportunity to re-examine any particular issues that are causing these feelings to resurface. On the 20th of January, we have the Sun in Capricorn conjuncting or conjoining Pluto in Capricorn at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York City time for reference. This is a turning point in our soul journey. And I put here, this is the door where we open it and we are ready to close the door behind us. Very contemplative energies as we end the week. Again, this is a week of, we're being reminded, okay, we're 2 weeks in, has nothing to do with the new year. We're just 2 weeks into this cycle, into January, since we ascribe time as humans with this calendar month. Is this where you want to be at? It's a check-in point, that's it. We're going to have quite a few for the rest of the year and the rest of our lives. It's signaling to us, we're ready for a huge ass change. And some of you by the end of the week, especially as things are wrapping up in your lives and everyone has different things that they've been focused on and clearing through and just working through, you may actually say to yourself, I'm so done with this. I'm ready for a change. I'm done. And this coincides too with Capricorn season ending this week on the 20th. So if there's anything that you've been wanting to end, like a belief system, a habit, a pattern, a relationship, where you put your energy, anything, this is going to be a wonderful time to do it based on the energies, the collective energies. And I also encourage you to look at your natal chart too, and any other predictive tools that you may engage in or use to get further insights into this. But overall, collectively, this is a wonderful time to end those and to say, you know what, I think I'm done. Going back to the sugar example, you may say, you know what, I think sugar and I are done. I want to feel better, especially if sugar has been causing you to feel maybe tired, maybe emotionally unstable. Maybe it just doesn't do well with you at this time. And you could look at other potential resources to help you in that way. So the end of the week is going to really allow us to engage in a more reflective and introspective process, almost like a review, and asking us at this point where we are in our lives, are we moving in the direction that we want to? If not, okay, this is a great time to revise that and to update that, especially with the first quarter moon in Aries. So again, this week is another week where we can continue cleaning up, continue decluttering, continue letting go, continue reassessing, checking in with ourselves and asking, is this where I'm heading? If not, okay, pause, we got to change something here. If any of you have been experiencing things that seem like they're causing you delays, that's a huge sign also for you to pause and to stop moving forward so quickly. So if any of you are experiencing things that are inducing delays, that's a strong sign for you to pause and to reflect and ask yourselves, okay, I need to slow down and I need to reconsider this area or these areas of my life before proceeding or making any rash or quick decisions. With the moon in Gemini, we may also be thinking about a lot of things, investing our time and energy, like thinking back and forth, past, present, and also putting our energy into different things that are going on, almost like multitasking with our mind and communication. So there's a lot of processing happening as we are reflecting and checking in and making sure, is this what I want to do and where I want to go? As a result, you may be feeling too a little bit indecisive, a little bit like you're doubting, is this the right choice? Is this what I should be doing? I'm not really sure, especially when it comes to moving forward, because when we get to that crux, when the sun is about to leave Capricorn and ingress into Aquarius, which is also ruled traditionally by Saturn, and in modern astrology, Uranus, we may be feeling doubt come up and we're like, I don't know. So really take time for yourself because only you can make that decision for yourself. But something too that can also help that I have here in my notes is ask yourself if anything has been repeating. I'm like trying to figure out how to say that. If anything has continuously repeated itself in the same way and you're like, I'm not seeing change, whether it's from someone else or even from you, that's something to ask yourself. Do I want to repeat this again? Because that's cluing you in on something that has to change. So either the input or output has to be different. Usually the input is what you can control. And so you may have to change something in terms of your belief system again, your patterns, your habits, or even who you engage with or what you allow in terms of boundaries. With the sun moving into Aquarius on the 20th, we are ready to go forward into the future with lessons learned, doing things in a new way, doing things in our way. Because remember, Aquarius is a very innovative, forward-thinking, futuristic sign. I was going to say future forward, but I think I'm saying that wrong. And when I say futuristic, I don't mean those futuristic tech movies you see, although those are associated too, but there's a sense of moving forward to make progress in life and not stagnate with the past. And that's something here that we're being pushed to do with these energies this week is, okay, guys, time's wrapping up. Make a choice. You want to repeat this again? You want to go through this again? Or you want to do something differently? And that's where all the thinking and contemplation comes in. So there's a sense here of making a decision and finalizing something we're ready to end so we can start something new in the same or even different area of our lives. It could be one or more, I should say, that we want to head into. So we could feel with this Aquarian energy a sense of liberation, a sense of freedom. We're breaking through. It's like, you know, when you on a winter day when it's cold and you open the air and you feel that cold, fresh air. Sometimes, and if you put a like minty gum, it enhances it. I used to do that as a kid, but you don't have to. You just feel this freshness. You're like, ooh, and you breathe in and it feels fresh. That's the energy that I'm feeling with Aquarius right now, especially as we emerge from Capricorn, because Capricorn is very, to me, when I, at least I should say me, when I say darkness, I mean like introspective, going deep, cleaning out. It's like going into the basement where the lights may not always be working and we're like, what's going on? Aquarius is coming out into the light because we're going out into the collective. With this energy, with the sun in Aquarius, we may be feeling more sociable, wanting to engage in and connect to others, especially when it comes to intellectually stimulating conversations, wanting to express ourselves in our own way, but also contribute to the collective, to humanity as a whole, to groups, and to new areas that we connect in, like networks, groups, meetups, clubs, etc. But bringing our sense of self, of who we are, and contributing. It's like bringing different pieces of pie into a larger pie, right? And contributing our own gifts to that. This is going to be an excellent time, I'll say, for any of you that are revamping, because all of us are revamping in essence, or growing, or pushing, or challenging ourselves in new ways. Whatever area of life that is perhaps main priority right now, think about new ways you can engage with others in that. So say maybe you want to learn how to public speak better. I think I said that wrong. Speak better publicly. Harness your communication skills. Maybe you want to try a new club, Toastmasters, or try a new meetup and just get out there and practice talking, right? But there's a fresh energy here. So there's something about doing things in a different way. I also got here, it's a great time to revamp your in real life connections and the virtual ones too. So this could be different social media channels that you engage in, YouTube and the others, Instagram, TikTok, and others. they're flying by me. Clubs, anything that has groups, anything that you put your energy towards and engage in, excuse me, is going to be a great time to refresh that and ask yourself, maybe I'm ready to try something different here, so I can learn something differently, or at least start thinking about things in a different way. Because Aquarius wants us to learn and push ourselves forward, to stretch that bubble, and to think about things in a new way. Okay, coming up on January 25th, we have the full moon in Leo, and on the 27th, Uranus stations direct. Let's get into the tarot, you all. Let's see what messages we need to know, anything else we need to know for this week. These cards are noisy. I think I need a mat here. Okay. What do we need to know for this week? I have this new deck. Crap, I don't even know the name yet. It's got little cherubs here. I'll have to get it. Okay. Ooh, we have the Sun card in reversed. Leo energy. We've got the Six of Wands. Fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. More fire. And we got Strength card, another Leo card in reverse. Look at this. I'll put it upright so you could see the picture. And these cards are like, they're spiritual tarot cards by a local artist. A friend gifted this to me and they're really cool. Wow. There's an energy here. There's a little bit of fear that I'm sensing at the end of the week because got double Leo energy, which is really about allowing yourself to be seen. And with the Six of Wands, which is got all fire, you guys, all fire here. There's a positive ramification, a positive outcome that I'm seeing here. But I feel like there's still, perhaps this is the Venus square Neptune energies, but I'm feeling a little bit of, I'm not ready. I don't feel ready to be seen yet or to be noticed. There's a sense of wanting to stay in the shadows, stay behind the scenes, or not coming out in public. For those of you that are wanting to put yourself out there in different ways, that could mean trying out for something new. Sports, I'm getting theater, drama, any clubs where you put yourself out there. It could be leadership position. It could be putting yourself out into the world in a virtual, digital way, like a content creator. Here, like on YouTube, a blog, newsletter, podcast, video creation. There's something here about visibility, but I'm sensing here, there's a little bit of fear here. And what I'm sensing with this card is success is already guaranteed. So if you knew success was guaranteed in your life, especially in the area of life that you're pursuing, what would you do? And how would that change for you? What would that mean for you? Because a lot of times we block ourselves and we invoke all of these past insecurities, fears from the past, also perhaps from past lives, and that blocks us from moving forward. So if there's anything that's coming up, especially when I mentioned earlier in this reading about dreaming big and really expanding out there, ask yourself, what's coming up for me? Why am I feeling this way? What blocks are particularly coming up? What is it that I believe about myself when it comes to this goal or these goals in my life? Because I feel like this week, this is what's coming up to be contend with, to deal with, to overcome. It's not so much saying, you're not going to do this because this is, a block. It's coming up for you to be aware of it, but also to say, okay, well, this is just a hurdle to jump or go through. The first step is to be aware. So anything where you're feeling like, I can't do that, or you're procrastinating on or postponing, that is going to clue you in on an element of insecurity, fear, or doubt that you may have to work your way around or work through. I feel like there's success here. Look at this. It's almost like looking into a future timeline and you're seeing guaranteed success. Some of you, I feel, want to do something that is going to entail external recognition. You're going to be seen a lot. It could be doing a sports thing, like a race, like crossing a finish line, or you're somewhere where, like in a podium, where people are going to see you. It could be a leadership position. There's a lot of visibility here. And when we are visible, and I'm not going to lie to you because it's something that I've experienced, when we're visible and we have to be vulnerable in so many different ways, it can be really scary because you're sharing parts of yourself. And you're opening up the door for everything, criticism, responses, ignorance, etc. There's so many things. That's why really getting clear on your boundaries is going to be important, because it's going to allow you to stand true in what you are, what you stand for. Some of you, especially, tap into the lunar energies we have with the first quarter moon in Aries this week on the 18th. Let me make sure, hold on. Let me make sure it's on the 18th. I get dates confused very quickly. On the 17th, excuse me. Because there's something here that I feel like we're being pushed towards so that we can overcome that. And it's a sense of fear or doubt. Like, we may think, I can't do this. I'm not ready for this. I don't have enough skills. I don't have enough chutzpah. I don't know this. I don't know these people, or whatever it is. We may feel like we're just not fill in the blank. We're not blank enough, which is really a fallacy here. I'm going to pull a few more oracles from them. This one is the Moonology messages, the new one. What other messages do we need to know for this week? Okay, we're going to pluck one. We got moonbeams, focus. We got sacral chakra, and we got throat chakra here. This is connecting truly to your desires. When you are really passionate about what you want to pursue, what you believe in and your values, that helps light that fire. It guarantees success for you, even if things sometimes change along that road, right? Sometimes how we envision things in the end result may look a little bit differently. So there's a sense here of focusing. So if any of you have not yet done a reflection of 2023, or even for a while, I would highly recommend doing a reflection of the past year or even if you haven't even dug deeper, doing a little bit of time, taking a little bit of time, excuse me, to reflect. It's so important because it gives us information in detail. That's all what it is about. It's really not about, oh crap, I didn't do this goal, or I didn't do this, or but it's none of that. It's really about asking, okay, you know what, I really enjoyed this, or I thought I enjoyed this, but I didn't. And I thought I wanted to pursue this, but I don't. And wow, those relationships really helped me learn this. This reflective time is going to allow you to get to know yourself better. It's going to allow yourself to really look at the challenges in your life, what you've learned from them, how you've grown, the pluses, where you could express gratitude. And also, okay, you know what? I've just reviewed this. Now, where do I want to go? It's going to allow you to refocus. So if any of you have been feeling like, I have no idea what the hell I want to do, I'm feeling lost, reflections are a wonderful way to gain massive insight. They're untapped energies that a lot of folks don't look into. It's like genealogy. Some of you may not know I'm a genealogist. I started when I was 11. It's amazing what you can find in trunks. I say that metaphorically, but also physically, in photos that haven't been looked at, in archival documents. Same thing with your reflections. So really grab yourself a tea, a coffee, a hot cocoa, your favorite drink, and take some time when you can make some for yourself and journal it. There's amazing questions. If you're interested in a video like this, I'm happy to do one. I don't know if it was a little bit off tangent with my channel, but I'm happy to create one. Let me know. There's so many amazing prompts on Pinterest, Google, on the internet that will allow you to really dive deep and ask yourself, okay, let me reflect the past year. Let me reflect over the past year. What went well, what didn't, what challenges came up, how did I deal with those? What did they teach me? What did I learn from them? What have I learned from my relationships? What are some common themes that have been coming up, etc. There's a main area here of focus, a lot of fire energy here. I feel like the universe is asking us to get reacquainted with our own fire, our own light, our own passions, and not let anyone inhibit that or block us. I'm going to pull from the Sacred Journey Oracle and see what other messages. Okay. Finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. Look at this. I mentioned this earlier about a spiritual connection at the beginning of the week. The best times for reflection, you guys, I'm having problems talking. I feel like I'm like blocked. Some of the best times to reflect are when you are alone. When you have taken time to consult, connect, engage with God, the universe, source, however you denote it, with your ancestors, with your spiritual team, I'll say, because it can include a lot of different folks, as I call them, spiritual animals, angels, archangels, guides, more. Connect with them. Meditation is great to also do this, but just simply taking time for yourself. Some of you, I feel, need time to daydream, to just let your mind wander, and it's not a waste. You'd be surprised when you just sit at a park bench or anywhere. You can lay down in your home and you just allow yourself to relax and to rest, and you can put music on in the ambiance with candles or whatever. What comes through? I feel like some of you need that time, that connection, because it's going to inform where you are going to go towards next. Sometimes we need a pause. I feel like every week it's important to pause. That's why in many cultures they have Sabbaths. Hope I said that plural. I'm gonna pull a final. This is the awakened soul. You guys, yes, it's the awakened soul. I'm always forgetting names. Let's pull a final oracle. Thank you. Crap, we got 4. See if we can make this quick. We got song. We got a cardinal here. I've been seeing a lot of cardinals, and for me, they always represent a connection to those who have died physically, but they're obviously still energetically alive. So it could be ancestors and other beings that protect you and that guide you. We've got songs here, so there's something about frequency and vibrations and music. We got guidance Here it looks like they have tarot or oracle. Unplug. Guys, I can't make this up. And we got wisdom, owls. That's another animal I've been seeing a lot. I've been called to share my own wisdom, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Some of you too are being called to share your wisdom, but also tap into your wisdom. Got wisdom, unplug, guidance, and song, and opening to your spiritual source. This week, a lot of you, the step forward, the way to move forward, I should say, is going to be connecting to yourself, to your spirituality, to your beliefs, however it looks like to you. Because I connect with a lot of people that are religious as well. That can mean connecting to your religious mentor, teacher, institution, or spirituality in general. And finding ways, because they're all alone here in the physical human way I'm talking about. Because honestly, we're never really alone. Spiritually, we're not. But they're all alone here. If you've seen, and you also see here, some of you need whatever time you can denote. It could be an hour, it could be an afternoon, a day. You need time to reflect, to connect to your spiritual source, and to get deep with yourself, which are going to inform the next steps for you. It's going to give you clarity. I hope this weekly energy forecast has provided additional guidance and wisdom for yourself, as well as the questions. Of course, let me know how you all are doing. Comment down below. I always love hearing from you, what's been going on, what would be most helpful for you. Otherwise, I'm wishing you a beautiful week ahead. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Take care.